I think the audio's not going through here. Yeah, I think my audio is. But I don't know if yours is.
Mic sound okay?
Here, just start talking. So then it'll pop up on the screen.
I'ma say mama sa mama pusa.
Okay. We're good.
Coming through. Cool. Okay, well, with that said, I'll just do the recap and then we can talk items. Okay. The ones that you purchased. What is this? Last session was session 80 of Tragedy of War, so this is session 81. Last time on Tragedy of War! The session began with the faithful few in the city of Safeguard, within the Old Guard Tavern. The party sat down to some continental breakfast after a night of well-earned rest. You guys kind of had a long day, you know, over the span of multiple sessions before this night of rest. I believe it started back in Cistern, before you guys went to even see the matron, or before Amihan took you all to the matron, and then you teleported into the Ring of Kev, and then you appeared outside of the Ring of Kev, and yeah. But during this breakfast, Khanek stood in the meat section, kind of eating with his hands and throwing food on the floor. Conrad sat down next to Rolland to have a quick meal before he got back to work serving people. And for a moment it seemed as though Conrad was regretting his decision to retire. That Rolland and the rest of the party made him believe that this conflict could actually end. Rolland reassured Conrad of his chosen path because he's happier. So Conrad bid the party farewell, and they left the Old Guard for the Church of Aewa. On the way, Bosong and Khanek noticed a familiar face. Archon Dominari, the Azamar they met in the city of Cistern, within the No Man's Land Tavern. So Bosong just approached, loudly proclaiming his recognition. Dominari explained that the Harbingers of Cistern had apparently attempted to arrest him for the massacre in the city streets. That he too had to fight his way out of the city. Though he fought against Harbingers, he returned to the city of Safeguard to face punishment for his original desertion from the Vanguard, but found out quickly that High Judge Virgil had perished. Rolland suggested that Dominari instead join the Enforcer Regiment and aid him and the faithful few in their quest. He was able to convince him. So Dominari performed a short ritual that broke his oath, Oath of the Archon, let's call it, and he joined them. From there, they continued on to and arrived at the Church of Aewa. Sister Isri was praying when they entered, go figure. She rose to greet them, suggesting to Rolland that she and the sisters could help him with his affliction. Rolland obliged, kneeling in prayer as the sisters gathered. Sister Isri spoke a few restorative rites as Rolland prayed, then rose when it was finished. Rolland was cured of his affliction, no longer pallid and sunken, now with the wings of an Azamar. While this ritual took place, Khanek also monologued to Aewa, less of a prayer and more of a monologue. He demanded to be her flame, to reveal the nature of the lighter bestowed upon him earlier in their quest. He too was bestowed her blessing.
That's crazy.
And so Bosong sat with Amihan, witnessing his friends become chosen by the gods. After the party finished their prayer, Lady Adelaide Van Deus walked in with Archon Arabeth, as well as Captain Freya of the Defenders and Captain Salar of the Vanguard, the respective heads of Safeguard's military branches aside from Rolland. Captain Salar had a bit of a chip on his shoulder and a bone to pick with Rolland, though eventually became cooperative as the Faithful Few's accomplishments became known. It would appear that the information, certain bits of information were lost, and did not travel very freely on the front lines of the war. So Captain Salar was in the dark for a lot of it, but certain details like they knew Emperor Catal was dead, but they might not have known that the Faithful Few were responsible. Lady Adelaide interrupted the bickering and announced that she was taking on the role of Seraph in place of her father.
Yep.
He ordered Captain Zorn to smooth relations with the Utale, Captain Freya to restore order to the streets of Safeguard, and Captain Salar to ready a march/siege/attack, whatever you want to call it, on the Kingdom of Sanctum upon the Faithful Few's return from the Utale Nation. As for the method by which they are going to approach Sanctum, it was left undecided by the end of the meeting.
Oh yeah. Well, he said that we would like sneak in as the Faithful Few, right?
Right. Yeah. That some kind of infiltration would be best.
Okay.
And Lady Adelaide adjourned this meeting, and the Faithful Few left for the God Forge. A forge, apparently, built into the bluffs of Safeguard that is known for using moonlight to enchant its creations. There, they met Elaine Dunister, an old human blacksmith known for his metalworking talent. And the session ended with the Faithful Few offloading their magical items for Elaine to combine and return them at a later date, likely 2 days' time. So,
Whoa.
I'll say you're all in the God Forge, but you know you're kind of leaving, and as you're leaving, the your bags are filling up with the magic items that you bought.
Yippee!
Mark 3. We want.
Am I still able to buy like just like potions and stuff before we leave if I want to wait to buy stuff? Obviously, stuff that's not spoken for already.
Yeah, if you want to buy additional consumables,
Okay.
definitely. Just send me the math on however much gold you have and how much you would like to purchase.
Yeah, sounds perfect. Everything I've bought is in general chat so far, anyway. So.
Oh, okay, good. Then I
Is it finally
hopefully-
time to read our books?
Oh, I suppose we do have a few days to wait because we're literally like at the forge still as the last session ended, right?
Yeah, and your understanding is that, who was it? Enforcer Peokan would, see you all in the harbor whenever you're ready.
To go to Utah Nation.
To go to Utah Nation, yeah.
And from what we know, Jorma is already there, or already left for there.
That was your understanding of your last conversation with him, yeah. Will, would you say that's where Jorma went when
Yep.
when he left? Okay, yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. Khanek says the thing about the books. I'm like, yes, well, if we make Keokan down at the harbor, I'm sure we'll have time to read those with our journey over to the Utale Nation. Perhaps we leave now, meet with the Utale, and then return for our items and to leave for Sanctum.
Are any of you armed anymore? Didn't you hand over all your weapons to this guy?
I have my standard issue safeguard longsword.
You, Bosong?
I'm always armed and Khanek resist from magic.
I have.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have a normal +1 longsword.
Good to know. All right.
Khanek pulls out the lighter and he's like, "Yeah, I'm armed."
You
All
feel
right.
as though perhaps collectively that your lack of weaponry will come across well to the Utale people. Maybe less. You're going there expecting there to be no conflict. Now, whether or not there will be no conflict is definitely up for debate, but
Understood.
up to you.
I mean, yeah, we have our basic shit. I mean, Daelin has like a normal ass crossbow, and if he needs it, Ocerus
Right.
still has his sword. So, yeah.
Yeah, what's the worst they could do, right?
Yeah, we'll be fine. So, yeah. Okay.
So I'm currently sharing your items with you, but I will say, so as a group, you guys would decide to head to the harbor. Is that what I'm getting from this?
Yeah. And then we'll try and use the
Okay.
travel time to finally read those books. Those god books. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so you would depart from the God Forge, follow the winding streets, not too far, as the God Forge is closer to the edge of the city since it's built into the bluffs. But you kind of move through the cut crevices that lead up to the God Forge, and out the eastern gates of the city, where you know the harbor to reside, Rolland. They call it the Close Coast, where the Safeguardian fleet resides. Of course, the fleet that Heritage doesn't have, as we established before.
Yes.
It's a welcome sight, Rolland. It's truly a display of Safeguard's naval power.
Rolland enjoys this internally.
And through the hustle and bustle of the harbor, you guys are it's pretty obvious which ships are readying themselves to depart, and on one of the stone docks beside one of the large one of the large warships is Enforcer Paeon, as you recognize him, and he would direct you to your galley, and as you all are approaching this harbor, Bosong, is there you are with Amihan in this moment. Do you say anything or do anything different?
They're going off to the Italian nation, right?
Yeah, the boat that they're boarding looks like it's going straight across the strait.
All right, Rolland, Khanek, Ocerus, me and Amihan have something to do in... What's it called? Fuck, it's slipping my mind. Where?
Bedlam?
Yeah, we're going to Bedlam. There's a Gua creature there that needs to die.
You're not turning code on us.
Oh no, I'll come back for the final battle in Sanctum. It's just, yeah. I'm more interested in killing Gua creatures than talking to Otale.
That's fair.
Alright,
Understand.
we'll catch up. Me and Amihan have this in the bag.
Okay. I mean,
Wait, David's doing his side quest? He's gonna get killed. And he doesn't have his magic items.
Nah, it's fine. I got this.
well, that's the path.
So
that you
David's
can
gonna force the side quest into the main story by suiciding himself, huh?
This is the path the Igonon have always followed.
Alright, what the fuck is going on?
I'm gonna sit out to the side. You guys have fun of tallying it up.
Alright, Rolland, I'm gonna be busy reading my god book. You have fun talking to Jorna. As Khanek just sits down.
Okay. I guess he sits down and I just say, hello, Enforcer Kaokan.
Hello, Captain Zorn. Good to see you.
As you can see, my Khanek has already boarded and sat down.
Well, Jack, is Khanek boarding the ship and sitting, or is he?
Yeah, he's boarding with Rolland.
Oh, okay,
And then sitting
good.
down, and then
I'm
he
assuming
reads
he
the
just
god
kind of
book.
walks past us and gets on the boat.
Gotcha.
I say,
I'm not abandoning Rolland, I'm just pulling a David. I'm like,
Yeah.
read my god book then.
guys, the camera is going to the Utali Nation.
Right.
Because I need to spend a 48-hour period to increase my int score by 2. So that's what I'm doing. I'm starting my 48-hour period right now.
Boom.
Huge.
I assume you'll be helming the ship then?
Correct, yes, I've assembled a crew of some reputable capacity, and they have all agreed to take you across on your mission to smooth things over, as I've received from above.
We appreciate it. We may not be the most talkative. A few of us have some literature to catch up on before we arrive.
Well, That's fine. It shouldn't be too long of a journey across. I expect it to be 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, give or take, depending on how the winds favor us.
Fair enough.
Yes, I think you will. I think you will be pleasantly surprised to make a return visit to the Utale Nation. It is quite a resilient place.
Yes, I'm counting on it.
Right on then. Lower the sails, and he calls back to some of the crew members, and people begin mobilizing to kind of disembark from this port. And pretty quickly, you're all off, except for you, Bosong and Amihan. You find, Bosong, a small sloop on the edge of the harbor. It looks to be manned by a single person. He is kind of, we'll say, stitching a hole in the sail. So it's lowered currently, but he's stitching a hole into it. He's got his legs wrapped around the mast. How do you approach this?
Wait, one moment.
He's quickly photoshopping a picture of Bosong in a pirate hat.
If only. Are we hand waving that, or
Are we hand waving what?
I sent you a DM on Discord? Sorry, I should have clarified.
Sorry, I'm not on my.
Oh.
You have to message the Mayberry account.
Yeah, let me just look at my phone. It is, yeah, it is. You did include that. I was a little confused at first.
Because
I mean,
it says requires an attunement slot, so I just thought, why not? So are Bosong and Amihan just gonna sit and safeguard for 2 days and wait?
well, I mean, I'd be willing to retcon you adding it to the weapon if you want to continue on this.
Yeah, all right, I'll take it out of
You
there.
added the orb by mistake. Oh my god.
Perhaps. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember asking you, what's the navigation orb do? And you were like, nothing. I'm like, okay.
What do you mean? What navigation orb?
True.
I was a little confused by that because I also wasn't sure what you thought it would add to the hammer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I did add it
Just
to the
one
hammer.
magic juice for the magic machine.
All right.
Like, okay.
I threw my car keys into the soup on accident.
Okay, so in that case, you still have your navigation orb. Yes, out of character, that's the item we're talking about.
Okay.
And it was not thrown in with the hammer. And you are with Amihan, you have this orb, and you talk to, you find a sloop on the edge of the harbor, and there's a kind of a grizzled Azamar there with very long hair, stitching a hole in his sail.
Hello there, good man. We need to borrow your boat.
The boat is not for borrowing, friend. If you wish a passage, then you're going to have to pay with coin.
Amihan, do you have any money?
No.
Oh,
You have money, damn.
I spent it all. I spent
You guys
every
spent it all on
last coin. Yeah.
grimy consumables. This whole plan is out the window.
I can say I gave David 100 gold extra on top.
No. I want to see him. I want to see him work his way out of this.
Could you, if I said that you could put it on the Seraph's tab, would you be okay with that?
The serve is dead.
Make a persuasion check.
No, there's a new
Or a
Sarah now.
Probably a deception check.
Oh. Alright, deception then?
Yeah, we could use the same roll if you want.
I mean, it's the same bonus for both. It's +7 on
okay.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, so like we're working with the Seraph. Haven't heard anything about the about this. Is there has he been resurrected from the ashes?
Oh no, his daughter's Seraph now, and I'm helping her out with securing her position.
Yeah, he that's not really a that part of it wasn't a deception, but he believes you and says okay, well, I suppose it depends on where we are going, yes?
I need to go to Bedlam.
You want me to sail my ship to Bedlam?
I mean, as long as you get us pretty close to the shore, me and my son here could swim to it.
He looks at you, and then he looks to Amihan. And then back to you. You're a very strange individual. Could you try and make a persuasion check now? This one, persuasion for sure, to get him to sail his ship into the waters of Bedlam. This isn't exactly an icebreaker ship. But I have sailed those waters a great many times. You're not sure if this guy's a changeling or not. Okay. I will take you. But if it is going to be charged to the Seraph, I am going to have to renegotiate with you while we travel.
Alright. What does that entail
Come aboard.
necessarily?
I'm just finishing up this final repair.
Works for me. Alright, Amihan, let's go.
You and Amihan board this small sloop, and after a few moments, this kind of salt-faced Azamar disembarks in the kind of an opposite direction of where the rest of the party went. And all aboard this sloop, we cut away from Bosong as he makes this this personal journey of his. David, we will talk about what you find over DMs.
Peachy, no worries.
Outside of session. Now,
All
as
right.
for this session, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna. I'm just assuming that you're okay with sticking around to kind of watch what the others are doing. But
Yeah, I'm cool.
Also
I'll
up to
listen
you
in.
if you have to be somewhere. You know. I believe Bosong would, or this journey of yours, would be able to be done by the end of next session. But it does depend a little bit on how far this group gets today.
No worries.
Okay. So, I've assigned some magic items to you guys. You will find them in the magic item tab on Foundry. But there's still a few that need to be sent over, so I will continue doing that as we go through the session. Khanek and Rolland are using this time to read. Like Enforcer Kaokan mentioned, about a 6-hour to 8-hour trip. Ocerus, how would you like to spend your downtime?
I don't really have any hobbies outside of doing my thing. I don't know.
Right.
Just mindful, thinking, doing some thinking, doing some self-reflection, maybe a little prayer. You never know. Maybe a little bit of everything.
How does Ocerus reflect on, like, what are his thoughts on how things ended in Cistern? Not even necessarily how they went, but does he feel as though there's resolution on that, or is he feeling like he has a problem to fix still?
I think he just feels like there's a lot on the back burner. Kind of like a lot of things to fix and a lot of questions to be answered, but still has he's prioritizing right now.
Would you say he was like he was on board with the decision to teleport out of that fight, right? Or was he dead? I can't remember.
He was dead.
He was dead, so he wasn't part of that decision.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. He definitely would not have, but he didn't have a choice. He was fucking dead. So.
Right. Okay. These are all thoughts that run through Ocerus's mind.
Yes.
And we'll say while you're in your quiet contemplation, Ocerus, Enforcer Kaokan is kind of patrolling along the deck of the ship and spots you kind of, we'll say, within your deep thought, and he apparently thinks it's a good opportunity for some interaction. And he walks over and he says,
Have I ever met Enforcer Kaokan? As Ocerus?
I don't think so. How is it a harbinger of Cistern has accompanied the faithful few in this journey that you're on? And he
I ask myself the same questions every day.
I see. Well,
Life has a funny way of putting you in situations and having you figure it out.
and to who do you attribute this way of life. Do you believe there's some sort of divine intervention at work here?
I believe in the divine. I believe in Huul's guidance. This journey I'm on now, I do not know what Huul has in store for me. I feel the further I am, the further I've been, the further away I've been mentally from his guidance.
I see.
I still try to keep my faith as unwavering as possible. There are questions I have sometimes of why and how.
That is good.
You know,
In my own experience, not with Huul, of course, but with Aewa, is that their purpose is revealed in time. So long as we keep our faith, as you say. I believe that you and your faithful few companions will. Well, you're making a purposeful stop here at the once we arrive at the Utale Nation. Bygones has since been restored to its former glory, though with new inhabitants, admittedly. It serves currently as the headquarters for the Utale Resistance. Is currently welcoming all refugees of the everlasting conflict, and so it is not unlikely that you won't meet someone of your, that perhaps Huul has put in your path.
I have not been excited to be in Safeguard. This change of scenery and the change of people, maybe more reasonable. Yeah, I can speak to whoever's in charge and come to an understanding that I can agree with.
Yes, my understanding is that the Harbingers of Cistern are something of envoys to the King Anodyne.
Yes.
Do you still act in such a capacity? Are you still searching for other nations to bring into the fold of Cistern?
That is my primary quest, but I feel as though, just like everything these days, I feel, well, I still have not talked to King Anodyne. I may or may not have, obviously, as you can tell, gone a bit rogue in my quest, but I still wish to complete my mission. I still think that King Anodyne will lead this world in the right direction if everyone can get on board, but it seems to be as obvious as it is, most people don't tend to all agree, as you understand from the war. But I will try. I've tried with a few nations, a few good souls, a good few. There's a few people in this world, a few leaders with good head on their shoulders. Some less stubborn to the truth and the correct plans, but I seem to be stuck with my comrades here who.
Well, my understanding at Fort Bygones and the Utale Nation as a whole is, of course, there's not a true leader in any official capacity, but a leader for the people, perhaps. My understanding is Jorma of the Utale leads them. And he is doing a reputable job. He's to credit for the achievement of offering sanctuary for all displaced refugees of this everlasting conflict. Perhaps he will have a more amenable head upon his shoulders.
I'd like to hope so, but based on what I've seen, he potentially have led his civilians into or his people into a death trap in that wretched city. Unfortunately,
Indeed.
I apologize. I did not mean to insult your homeland. I forget that people like Safeguard around here.
I believe that no place is completely infallible.
That we can
There
agree
are,
on.
unfortunately, in these times that we live in, I suppose, people are often faced with the choice of safety or an early demise. And at the very least, there are a few places only in this world that are truly safe for the good of heart and the innocent. And Safeguard for a time was one of those places, but as many places these days, they lose their way. I believe now we're on an upward trajectory.
I'd like to think so.
EMA. Okay. He kind of ends at that and says,
You are-
"Well, I'll allow
You are the most
to,
reasonable safeguarded I've met. That is as far as my pleasures will go.
I appreciate your saying so. Good luck in your quest of achieving more connections, more interconnectivity with the rulers of Rapture. I believe it is a noble cause. And to your faithful few companions in your negotiations, I'll leave you to your brooding." And he returns to his patrol on the ship. And Khanek and Rolland, you make it 8 hours into your reading. We'll say it actually was only 6, but you guys both were pretty focused on your reading. And actually, we'll say you even got 12 hours worth of reading in for the sake of the magic item. And before you know it, you are docking at the shores of the Utale Nation as you hear the ship drop anchor and the crew begin to
What does the Utale Nation look like now, Harry? Is it still fucked?
Well, the dock that you are boarding, like deboarding on, it is pretty dilapidated. But the land itself isn't as dilapidated as one might think it would be. You can actually see colors of life as the corruption is receding. I think I have a visual. Maybe. Kingdoms. Safeguard. Retaliation. Do I? I think I had a visual, but I didn't upload it. Oh well. I guess I'd say that the land itself is a little bit more worse for wear, but you know the sky
Your
is
mic
blue.
is bleeding.
Oh shit.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
The sky's blue. There's sunshine has returned to this land, and both seem to be almost healing the corruption away. Enforcer Kaokan takes the lead, and kind of begins forging the path to Fort Bygone. Basically, as you walk, I would say that the land is, it's not like flooded how it used to be. Before, it was like flooded with this like disgusting blood rain, and it was mixing with the corpses and the, you know, and the land itself that was like melting away because of this corrupt rain. But now, at least, it's not flooded. And the land has kind of returned to a solid state, which is already a huge improvement. And it seems as though the corpses have either been removed, whisked away, or if there are signs of corpses, it's mostly bones that you would see kind of barely poking out of the surface of the land. And otherwise, there's actually some greenery poking out beside these bones. So all things considered, it looks like it's on the rebound. Surprisingly so. And you take note of this as you walk. Yeah, maybe if you give them the magic beans, they'll find new. They'll end as well as it did for heritage, right? But yeah, you follow Enforcer Kaokan as he takes lead, and the walk, definitely, with the land being more put together and not destroyed, it feels much shorter in comparison to your previous journey, if you were on that previous journey. And you all arrive at the gates of Fort Bygone before you know it. Say again, Jack?
No giant zombies in the mountains?
No giant zombies in the mountains. Luckily, you don't have to go up that way. If you'd like to go up that way, you can, but Fort Bygone is not necessarily.
Necronimbus storms?
No Necronimbus storms.
More
no
Necronimbus
Garana.
storms.
I'm just gonna bring us to the map. Actually, I don't really know why I did that because we're gonna have to scene change again here in a second. But you arrive at this familiar fort-like compound in the middle of this just pretty desolate land. Admittedly, though, it's much easier to see and looks as though it's been cleaned up and restored quite a bit. The gates are closed as you approach. But as you get closer to basically the actual, like, once you get within like touching distance of this gate, you hear actually a half-orc voice shout, "Open the gate!" And you hear the sound of like
What the wrong podunk?
a winch kind of pulling at each of the doors as they swing inward toward the fort, revealing the inside of Fort Bygones, the courtyard. Everything feels familiar to all who were there before, but in a completely different light, of course. And you observe two Utale kind of pulling their respective gates to the ends of their hinges, swinging it open fully. And their expressions are welcoming, offering nods to you all as you enter.
Well, sorry, Will. Looks like the Utali Nation has been infiltrated by podunks.
The stink of corruption and undeath is nothing but a memory to this place. And in that way, you can almost kind of like smell it still, like a phantom smell, but it's not actually there. Greenery and life has been restored to this place. It's decorating the side streets and the rooftops, and the once dead oak tree in the center of Fort Bygones is restored.
Oh, even the tree's going back to life.
Providing shade for a number of refugees and inhabitants. There are men, women, children, and soldiers from all different walks of life kind of coexisting in this place, almost like a small slice of peace on the edge of the world. Maybe the only slice in all of Rapture. But Fort Bygones has indeed been restored to its former glory, probably even superseded it. And at this point, the scene...
And there are blue Goliaths.
There are blue Goliaths. Actually,
Harry,
wait, just
say
for
no. Say
simplicity-
we spot no blue Goliath.
For simplicity, we're gonna say that Alex and Kev just stayed on the ship.
Oh, Alex and Kev left.
Okay. Yeah, like they didn't come along for this.
Yeah, no, they...
Kev?
Okay.
Hey, where's the tree burner?
Artyom? We haven't seen him since the battlefield, bro.
The what do you call it? You hear Beluminos
No.
as you enter this place, and within the shade of the old oak tree that has now been revived, where it would soak, a giant also soaks. Beluminos, apparently. The name and the site of
Why
this
the fuck
giant
is Quozo
barely
here?
faintly rings a bell, but you throughout the kind of opening scene of this courtyard, you do notice a handful of other perhaps familiar or somehow notable figures, even if you're not familiar.
Who the fuck is Sinclair?
You see the back of a tabaxi that wears an overcoat and a bowler hat. And he looks to be talking
It's Damien
to
and Klaus.
an owl variety, Aarakocra, and he's taking notes as he listens to what looks like
Consul
quite
Corinth and
the
Cecil. Kill them both.
regaling tale Yes, you would also see an elf wearing the colors of Safeguard, the colors of a Safeguard, speaking with one Utale resident, a taller Goliath. Recognizable perhaps only by Daelin, but we'll say he just doesn't see him. And then you would see Jorma of the Utale speaking with a small group of his people.
We first
Utale,
see Enforcer
Malcolm,
Lazarus and Evoker Aranale.
And half-orc alike. And Jorma, I'd say that on the gates opening, you would have glanced over at this newcomer group, but of course you know them. Do you approach, or what do you do?
Yeah, I'd approach Rolland.
Nice. So, the Utale that you're speaking with, Jorma, they offer you a nod and a smile as you depart from them, and you turn to Rolland. And Rolland, you see Jorma of the Utale approach you.
Jorma.
Rolland, I told you it's not a good time.
Unfortunately, Jorma, there is no other time. The Council of Safeguard's militaries have met. We'll be marching on Sanctum in 2 days.
Well, it's good for you.
Jorma, I know that my people made errors while I was away. I wish I could take them back. I don't even think Aewa has that power. But I don't want what we started to disappear, to be for nothing. We had the start of something good, Jorma. The Utali people and Safeguard. I want to fix that.
Unfortunately, you put me into a tough position, Rolland. I agree with you. I understand. We've put aside our differences. I believe in you. But trusting someone with high standing and Safeguard after everything that's happened, what does that show my people? I've created a community here, Rolland. There's people from all walks of life, all nations, a safe haven. To then partner with the same people who put that in jeopardy, that makes me look... How does it make me look as a leader? As someone that they can trust?
Certainly make you bold. But
I don't know if I could lose my sway.
These conflicts, it's bigger than any one nation, Jorma. Safeguard, we don't initiate a fifth draft, but perhaps we offer an invitation to those who believe in our fight and our cause to fight alongside us. If you would lead them, offer them not this order but an opportunity, we could use the help. It could strengthen our bonds to fight alongside each other as willing soldiers.
That's...
Sanctum is not just Safeguard's enemy, Jorma. They're the final piece behind all of this. You were in the Faithful. You know about the tablets. The final one is in Sanctum. putting an end to the everlasting conflict, Jordan. That's bigger than all of us.
All I can do is give you a platform. I will not make anyone fight. I will not recommend it. But I can give you... I don't know if there's... Just don't know if there's anyone that... Unless I can get majority to go. Leaving everyone else behind puts what we have here in jeopardy. With no one leading.
Very well. I will take your platform. Humbly. Very graciously. When do you think it best to do this? I see him! I see him, Harry! He's right here.
What,
Lazarus!
I literally said that, you fuck.
Oh, well.
What time of day is it, Harry?
12 hours.
Cecil from the
30
beginning of the
hours
campaign is here. Dude, look, there's Council,
Oh.
Corinth, and Cecil.
Yeah,
The comes
yeah.
from the beginning of the campaign. We need to kill them now.
Corinth is from Gale.
We need to kill them now.
It is probably we'll say it's just before sundown right now, like just before dusk.
All right.
Yeah, just before dusk.
I will give you a platform at the communal banquet tonight. It's always best to ask people for favors when there's food in their stomachs and beer in their hands.
Very well.
I hope they follow. But
Like you say, I can only ask.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if we settle in or... Wait, is Lazarus a fucking deserter? What the fuck? Why is he here? This bastard.
You don't know why he's here. But there do appear to be a number of individuals that you may choose to speak with as you settle in, or choose to completely ignore while you wait for Rolland to give his speech. Up to you guys. Khanek, Ocerus, and Daelin are the only ones there. So it's basically just Khanek, Ocerus, and Rolland. What would you all like to do after speaking with Jorma? Or even while Rolland speaks with Jorma?
I'll pass priority if anyone else wants to jump in. If not, I think Rolland wants to go talk to Lazarus.
Okay.
Lazarus and Atlas.
Okay. Ocerus and Khanek, would you like to accompany him?
Of course.
We'll just have Daelin. We'll say Daelin goes over
He keeps reading.
here. Well, I don't even know if he has a book, does he?
Yeah, he has the book I gave him, the dexterity one.
Oh, okay. So I'll make a note of that too. Just have him go over here, and then you guys. Move your tokens over down to Lazarus and Rolland. Luminous. You hear again, and then more splashing coming from the center. Let's see.
Not ridiculous. And the last time I saw Lazarus was when we went to Heritage, right? Like right before.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you approach, they are an elf, a bald elf, and yes, a very messy-haired Azamar are speaking with each other. You get the you pick up that essentially Lazarus is ending his recounting of his involvement in the piercing of Palisade. An
I've got one
operation.
story.
Send everybody to
It was
to
crazy.
to across the border to Heritage, and then RNL is kind of following it up with the part that he played in the ceasefire plea for the first faithful, and they seem to be kind of exchanging war stories over some wine and spirits. You say anything as you approach?
Hey guys, it's me. Let's roll.
Hey,
It's
Lazarus.
rolling.
How have you been? No. I'm like, I just say, Lazarus. Hell.
Captain Zorn. He kind of like swishes, throws his wine to the side and like onto the sidewalk, and then puts the cup on top of the wine barrel, and
It's legal to
Yes.
drink now. Don't worry, buddy.
I was just
Eh,
speaking to
he's
Mr. Evoker on our exploits to the Northern Kingdom of Heritage.
Yes. I'm glad to see you've been well since then. Dark Elf.
Yes, well, I've been ever since our disbandment from your cause. I myself and Enforcer Atlas, we've we remained in the city of Safeguard until we heard of this place opening up on this side of continent of Rapture, and we thought if we are close, we may as well see what kind of operation they are running here, and everything seems to be good, as it were, and it doesn't seem there are many forms, many different walks of life in this place. And he
Yes.
kind of nods to RNL.
When was the last time you connected with your commanding officer?
The officer.
I'm kidding. I assume you've been here for a while now.
Very
though.
funny, Captain Zorn.
I'm glad that there are safeguardians here too, to be honest. I'm not gonna hassle you.
Don't give away, buddy. The safeguards are cool here. That's all.
Like you, Captain Zorn, as enforcers are made to be, we find ourselves often in foreign nations and bridging gaps on behalf of the city of Safeguard.
Yes, well, it's at a time when we need it most. I assume you've heard some of the news that's going on in Safeguard with High Judge Virgil.
Oh, these guys are making news and they don't know shit.
Okay.
We did not. Enforcer Atlas and I have not been back to the city of Safeguard in
Oh no.
a week or so.
A week?
insight
That's all it
check
took to get tyrannical?
Can I insight check? Can I see if he just like never went back to Safeguard and he basically deserted or not?
Sure, yeah. You get the impression, Ocerus, that he, likely left while it was tyrannical. You know, like it had been that way, and then they left before
13.
you guys took the hammer to Judge Virgil. As far as you can gather, Rolland, it seems yeah, just like some enforcers, perhaps not using their time as wisely as they could be.
Okay, that's fine. I said I wouldn't hassle him. Well, High Judge Virgil tried to reverse the decrees, allowing the Vidalkin and Utale into the city, and he was struck down for this.
At this point, the elf speaks up. High Judge Virgil was struck down.
Yes.
By who?
Myself, actually.
Rolland killed a safeguarded crazy.
Arnell kind of looks over at Lazarus and then back to Captain Zorn.
This guy's hard.
I see.
I couldn't let him
This
undo
is...
the work we have been done with the Utale people.
I see, yes. Well, decisive action was required, no doubt about that. I suppose I did not expect it to come from within the city of Safeguard. I always thought that High Judge Virgil's shortcomings would eventually catch up with him, and I suppose they did, but in an unimagined way.
Yes.
I believe you've done the city a service.
Unfortunately, I must agree. He gave me no other choice.
I don't believe we've met. I am Evoker Aranel. I serve in the army of Haven, and well, I suppose that part is less important, but you are the leader, or at least part of this group known as the Faithful Few.
Yes, I'm part of the Faithful Few. I represent Safeguard in this group.
Before they were the Faithful Few, they were unnamed mercenaries. They began to call them the Faithful Few only after I had charged alongside them in my service during my time on the front lines of destiny. It is very peculiar to me that you as a group have come so far, yet those that make up your group have seemingly cycled in and out. The only one that I seem to recognize is the pallid one by the gate. And he kind of gestures around the corner over to Daelin.
Dalen's like reading or something.
And then Daelin says,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's me, Aewa."
I just say... Sorry, what was he saying? I kind of lost it in there.
He was just acknowledging that he had not known, he doesn't know who you are, and he was introducing himself as somebody who basically served alongside the first faithful, but it was before they were the faithful few. So he's kind of being a hipster about it, I guess. But he would just tag it off by saying, what brings you all to Fort Bygone?
We're trying to... From, one safeguard... sure, the plan should be public back in safeguard by now. I should be fine to tell you. We're marching on Sanctum. We believe that this march may be what finally puts an end to the everlasting conflict. With Forlorn considerably out of the picture for at least a few months, Bedlam also in a similar place of disarray, we think that now is the best time, that Sanctum has been working quietly on some things that must be stopped and potentially the source of the everlasting conflict. All three branches of the military have united in this effort.
I see. Well, that is...
Spoil it like an asshole. Just tell everyone, hey guys, fighting.
That is, well, trying news indeed. While it is forward thinking, it does not come without its uncertainties, I'm sure.
Yes.
I've heard rumor of the Warforged of Sanctum colluding with agents of Bedlam.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
And in their collusion, they intend to bring back the dwarves. Now, I find that utterly unlikely, but if it is true, they remain to be the only looming threat, it would seem, on the good people of Rapture. As I'd heard that the Dragonborn were thwarted by the faithful few, as well as the high authorities within the Kingdom of Gale. They don't seem, well, the kingdoms that would pose a threat to the good people of Rapture seem to be becoming fewer and fewer.
Yes, we've made better progress in these past few months than the entire conflict.
As well, it is, I believe it is simpler when speaking myself as a soldier of the everlasting conflict for, as long as I can remember. The nature of your accomplishments could only be achieved, I believe, by a smaller group such as yours. Unfortunately, the rulers spread out across all these kingdoms all seem to have their own goals, and none of which are quite as focused as I'd like them to be on ending the war. Consulate of Peace is the prime example of this. I served on their behalf for the latter half of my lifetime, and they sought peace, but in a rather moronic way, I might say. That is why as why I now find myself here.
Right. Well, Lazarus, convey this to Atlas for me too. But we'll be marching. My team will be going into Sanctum, and the others will be coming on a frontal assault.
His team. Okay, little bro thinks on the team.
If you were to join the fight, we could use even the fight, to be honest. Whether you're with us or mine.
Yeah, so at this point, then Lazarus jumps at it and says, Captain Zorn, if you are leading the way, if you are leading the charge, then I am close behind. I believe that... Well, go ahead and roll... Well, no. You won't need to roll for Lazarus, actually. Say, if you are leading the charge, I am close behind. Most certainly. I believe that... well, not only myself, but people are beginning to believe that the end is in sight, and if you believe that this next course is one of finality, then I believe every safeguardian, good people of Rapture, as RNL here says, will appreciate the sunrise on a day we can finally call peaceful.
Yes, we do dream of that day as well.
RNL would chime back in as well and say, if it is truly an act of finality, then I believe that Haven would like to be part of that if they could be, and if you'd be willing to accept them for all of their shortcomings. There is one consul here currently.
Khanek speaks. Haven still exists? I thought they were destroyed, blown up. Their entire council. I thought their government was in shambles. Is that what Jorma meant when he said a new haven here? A double meaning, perhaps, that they seek to establish their council in the Utali nation as a new haven?
Not so far as I've understood it. There is a consul here within the walls, Corinth by name. He is one with a better agenda guiding his path than most. To your point, to your question though, the Consulate of Peace has not gone away entirely.
The last time we talked to a person who believed in the Consulate of Peace, they turned out to be a changeling. They said, we must pass the laws, and that's the only way we can seek. We must try better. And they were just another fucking changeling. Ocerus! Use it. The scale.
I scale him.
It falls to the side. It falls to the side of good. As I was saying,
so
to
instead of being evil,
before,
you're stupid. I see, because you're either evil or stupid. That is what is.
No, as I was saying before, listen, friend, you have not returned yourself to the Kingdom of Haven, it would seem, since that attack on the consulate.
I've never been to
and
Haven.
I can assure you that the personnel in charge there, at least the ones that I've brought with me, are more than respectable individuals, and I believe that they could offer you aid. Now, if you reject that aid, that is entirely up to you. I am simply offering an olive branch. I cannot speak on behalf of the Kingdom of Haven, but Consul Corinth Most certainly can. I believe he's around here somewhere.
I just say.
All I'm saying is, have you changed your ways since your mistakes of the past, believing in consulates of pieces and passing policy only to be destroyed by radical agents of Sanctum? You let a machine from Sanctum destroy you without even a war.
The bureaucracy of the Consulate of Peace was never to my taste. As I said before, I'm a soldier, evoker on behalf of the Kingdom of Haven, but I do not believe I was in service to the correct council. These days, Haven has attempted to identify a new path forward for its kingdom, and so I am part of that new path.
Can't wait till the final session of this campaign where Khanek's just gonna drop the act and be like, oh, thank God it's over.
Gonna drop something. Drop a nuke on everybody.
Yeah, I'll drop my cock down on your fucking...
He could actually just explode the Utali Nation right now if he wanted to.
CAM, activate.
Peak comedy. Eliminate both other races of podunks.
Order your... For the Iganong.
Lazarus would say...
There's only room for one podunk in this town.
Lazarus would say, if we are to make preparations for the battle to come, I will ready myself, Captain Zorn. Please excuse me. And he steps away.
Is there a forge or a shop around here?
Well, there is a shop, Arnell would say, as Lazarus walks up. There's a traveling merchant, Wes from Sinclair, he calls it. He is stationed over by the gate, distributing his merchandise. I do believe there is a forge, but I am not sure of its state. I haven't heard the sounds of an anvil since I've stepped foot in this place. Would you like me to make introductions for you to Consul Corinth?
I don't want to speak to counselors, but for you politicians, Rolland and Ocerus, now that you exist in the political realm, perhaps this is your forte. Now you have to eat the inefficiencies of bureaucracy.
I'm willing to talk to anyone who might be willing to help with that cause. I accept your invitation gracefully. Oh, gratefully, not gracefully.
Yeah. Yeah, he sounds almost like... He doesn't sound as frustrated as...
He was talking to Khanek.
So Evoker RNL would lead you guys over there. Khanek, would you follow with? I know you said it's more their thing, but
No,
you could also branch out. Okay. You can move your token over there. As you walk to follow RNL, you notice a man. He's kind of wrestling with a horse, a white horse, down by the wagons that you were beside. And he's kind of pulling on the reins of this horse, trying to get him out of the cheese wagon. And it's kind of just like ridiculous scene of like a Vidalcan cheese merchant going like, "Do not let him eat my cheese," and the human man is trying to like pull the horse away, and he's like, I'm sorry, she's hungry from a long journey," and the Vidalcan man just keeps kind of yapping at him to try and get him to contain his horse. You know, kind of small world problems. Mundane problems, I should say. And you walk by, and Evoker Aranel walks over to Consul Corinth, and Consul Corinth appears to be speaking with a Goliath man, very tall, very thin, and kind of it sounds like you're stepping in on a conversation where Consul Corinth is gauging whether or not the residents of Fort Bygone would be more suited on the mainland of Rapture as haven as a number of open estates that would be willing to harbor them, and Utale wouldn't have to deal with all the looming bureaucracy. The Consulate of Peace is significantly reduced in size, and in fact, the Consulate of Peace would likely benefit from having an Utale representative on its board in order to advocate properly for its interests. What do you think about that, Cecil? And the Goliath Cecil, would say,
Speaks with Utale. Who the fuck is this guy? Who is he?
Well, I appreciate your gesture, I truly do, on behalf of your kingdom. But Jorma would be better to speak with on this subject. I do not dictate. Frankly, nobody dictates the whereabouts of the refugees of this fort. But you can try your hand to speak with Jorma. And as you all approach, Evoker Aranel would kind of place a hand on the shoulder of Consul Corinth and say, "My consul, I am here with the new faithful few. They are intending a march upon Kingdom of Sanctum. Will allow them to fill you in on more details and perhaps the aid that Haven could offer in support." And Consul Corinth, with his very bright blue eyes, would turn his focus to you. A familiar face, as you recognize him, Rolland, as the Khanek. Khanek's not there. Rolland, you would be the only one who recognizes in this group that has approached. I recognize you. You're Captain Zorn. You were there in that basement in Haven, or in the Kingdom of Gale, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
You freed me from my prison.
I remember you. Yes. Wow, that feels like so long ago, but what? It was at most a month or two?
Yes, time is a rather strange phenomenon. Regardless, I remember trudging through the snowbanks of Bedlam with you, and, well, reboarding that ship and finding that, having to recover that Arakocra captain who got himself lost to those primordial creatures. I've been in safeguard ever since, attempting to broker a sort of more amenable arrangement with the Kingdom of Haven, perhaps more of a direct council with the rulers of each kingdom, rather than... You agree with this statement?
Well, I think that communication can only benefit us, right?
That is my thinking as well. He offers a smile. It is good to see a face that is rather familiar in this place, and one that is, or if you don't mind my saying, I have an immense amount of gratitude for. Where are the rest of your companions that were there that day?
We're all each handling our different duties at this point, making our preparations for the march we spoke of in our own ways.
I see, yes, a march on Sanctum. I'm sure that there are a lot of hands on deck for an operation such as that.
Yes, well, with Forlorn and Bedlam seemingly put at bay for now, we thought it opportune.
Yes, and I'm inclined to agree. I do believe that a decisive end to the war would be the ultimate peacekeeping mechanism. Better than, of course, any silly legislation passed by my colleagues in the past. I believe that I could bring a proposal back to the consulate and win a favorable vote to offer aid in this this march. It is happening quickly.
Soon, yes. We still have, I mean, the troops will have to traverse through Heritage still, so there's time. I'm sure it will last for many days. Whatever support could be made would be appreciated. I'm sure even potentially some Pegasus could be sent from Safeguard to help traverse the continent.
Yes, well, I believe I will be able to send a message, at least to one of my colleagues back at the consulate, to propose the vote on my behalf. I believe that I will delegate it to one that I trust, someone who I know has great sway within the consulate. I understand if well, yes, I believe that we can get what you need within that time. If not at the beginning, then perhaps during the siege, as you say, multiple days.
Right, yes. I know all this is happening very quickly. I appreciate even your willingness to entertain it on such short notice.
Yes, well, I was here initially. I was not expecting to see you. I was here initially to speak with the Utale people to see if they are... well, if they are enjoying their new home here, now that it is recovered. I simply wished to understand, being so as close as I was, just across the strait in the Kingdom of Safeguard, came to see if this nation were even habitable anymore. I found it hard to believe that it has recovered as quickly as it has from the necromantic magic of the Dragonborn. Quite remarkable indeed.
Yes. So much damage has been done over the years, it's not easy to come back from it, but, you know, it starts with one step, right?
Starts with one step. He offers you a nod.
Well,
Well, I ought to send this message to my colleague. I appreciate your speaking with me. Perhaps once I return, I will speak with this Jorma of the Utale and see what can be done about an arrangement between Port
yes.
Bygones and Haven. But until then,
I give him a handshake.
he offers you a handshake.
Yeah.
Or he meets your hand.
Gonna have a real Avengers Assemble moment, huh?
Yeah. And he goes and he disappears into one of the buildings nearby. And you're kind of left with Cecil, who kind of narrows his eyes a little bit. He'd say, I do not understand why. Or no. He'll say, you know, I was there upon the first faithful receiving their so-called prophecy.
Consul of Corinth, is this?
This is Cecil now.
Okay. Whoa.
Flashes art. There were 9 of us
Little bro was on the team.
within the House of Huul. He says within the House of Huul, and he kind of side-eyes you, Ocerus. We were led in prayer by one Brother Moro, who, since to my understanding, has fled his city of Cistern. From then on, we haven't heard from him, but I only mean to say that this prophecy that you find yourselves on is your siege of Sanctum led by this? He's asking basically if the siege of Sanctum is motivated by the faithful few's prophecy.
You know, it's all quite cryptic, but I can only assume as much. Playing along with this whole faithful business has gotten me this far, I suppose. We've seen more progress in the war or the conflict in these past few months than in years. I can only think that it means something.
The results of your success are undeniable. However, I do wonder if it is too much to ask others to share in your belief that this will indeed bring an end to the war on faith alone. Do you find yourself questioning at all whether...
I think it's the best chance that we've got. You know, we've made ourselves stronger while bringing other threats down. I can't think of any other way to put a stop to this war. Sanctum and their background dealings with Bedlam and the dwarves. It's the last puzzle. It's the last puzzle piece.
I see. I only raise these concerns because the faithful few that I was introduced to were not you. And so I find this incorporeal prophecy that seems to attach itself to those who are willing. In my understanding, foreboding.
Perhaps, but
You believe it's supposed to be true?
the thing about the faithful few is that it's always been said that if one cannot follow the quest, that another will become in his place. A faithful few. While there are only other few,
I see.
I think that any number of people could have been called upon by this prophecy. It's self-enacting in that way. I just happen to have accepted it.
I see. And perhaps by that line of thinking, perhaps the faithful few are not those necessarily chosen by the gods to enact some sort of prophecy or fulfill any kind of purpose within the world. Perhaps the faithful few are merely those who choose to believe in the cause. If your siege is to succeed, well, then you will need to convince a suitable assortment of people of very different backgrounds. I wish you all the luck in your attempt to do so.
Thank you. Well, I'd say attend tonight's banquet, as hopefully I'll be making an announcement of our safeguards plans.
I see. Well, then I will be sure to
Attend.
I will be sure to attend and see if my heart can be swayed.
I just give him a nod.
Until then. And he nods and kind of bows as he does so, ever so slightly, and heads into one of the nearby buildings, disappearing from view. And so then Evoker Aranel is the only one with you guys now, and he'd just say as a closing statement, well, I think that went rather well with the consul, and rather strangely with the bold one, but I too wish you all the best of luck. I will also attend tonight's banquet and see what propositions can be made, what additional details can be gleaned. Good luck to you.
Thank you. And thank you for the instruction.
He'd also leave and go into one of the nearby buildings. He'd go into the one that Corinth left for. And then you two are left alone. Khanek, you went up to Sinclair on his wagon. He would say, come one, come all, visit and witness the wares from Sinclair, from isles both near and distant. And he has kind of an assortment of items, seems to be kind kind of a general goods merchant, but also has some magical items. We'll say you see a lot of duplicates from that of the Godforge in terms of inventory. Perhaps a few more from the Cistern, from Cistern's magic item inventory, but it seems to be a lot more bare bones than what you found at the Godforge. You think it's a good thing that you spent most of your gold there, but the Utale and half-orcs and other refugees in this place are kind of examining the items. It seems to have drawn a bit of a crowd. As you approached, he would say, "You there, traveled one. I can see the journey upon your attire. To what end have you traveled? Near or
Talking to
distant?"
me?
He's talking to you.
Everywhere. Everywhere in this world.
Everywhere in the world, you say.
Correct.
What of worlds beyond this one?
Not much.
And I have something that may be of intrigue to you. And he would go. He would kind of stand. He's sitting on like where the carriage rider would sit on his wagon. So he'd stand on top of that, and he would say, "Please accompany me to the back of this, to the back of my carriage." And he stands and disappears through the flaps.
Danger.
Okay. So it's a carriage, just like a WADS campaign that one time. Is he going to sell secrets to us?
You follow him to the back of the carriage?
Yeah. I follow him to the back.
As you
of his
do,
magical
he would
campaign.
Open up the back kind of curtains. He would draw them open, and he would say, well, you would see a very large tarped item in the back, kind of like right at the back ledge of this wagon, and he'd lower the back trunk so that you could see it better. He takes the tarp off and reveals what looks to be a very large jug. You see, there are
alchemy jug?
You cast Identify.
I'll identify it as well. I'll just ask him. Is a alchemy jug of some kind?
Indeed, there are many strange items in worlds beyond this one.
Only foolish wizards require alchemy jugs. I do not need such a mere item for a mortal. I can create fluids of my own design. If I truly desired. I just simply don't desire.
I see. And what of illusory items? Artifacts of illusory power. Do these interest you?
What are these artifacts of illusory power he shows me?
He presents next to the alchemy jug, there's like a desk within the carriage, and he would open like a secret drawer in the side panel of the desk, and he'd pull out 2 bracers.
Oh, what are these?
I found them upon one who perished many years ago.
What do they do? Illusory power, you said.
Indeed. They, so you know them to be out of character. Well, out of character. They are the illusionist bracers, and you have, I would say, in this world, not heard of such an item, but you understand its power and mechanics that go with it. You see, beyond the endless sea is, well, not as endless as many make it seem. There are lands beyond here, lands that are not quite like this one. They are more barren and the people, they do not share the same character as you and I.
Yes. These would interest me quite a lot. I can trade you something of equal value.
What items do you have to trade? I believe that I was hoping for a gold transaction, something of a liquidating exchange, but if you are to trade me, then I will have
Well,
to be
this
able to
item
sell
is
it.
this item is very rare. So
You're gonna bullshit.
I would say the worth of the gold for this item is. Let me think. Yeah, I'm looking something up. Where's my?
I have to
notes?
be able to resell it at
It would be around
full
500
value,
gold. So what if I
please.
give you something with 1,000 gold of value, like a potion of giant size? It
A
seems
potion
fair.
of
It's
giant size is
double
most
the
powerful indeed. I
it's
am
double the worth
familiar
of your
with it.
potion. Yes, or double the worth of your item.
I believe that that is a good start. I believe that an item of this effect is not easily acquired, nor have I seen the likes of it anywhere in Rapture. If you were to provide this potion alongside perhaps a more permanent
gold would you
piece
want?
of
Well, how much gold would you want?
in addition to the potion, I would say I am seeking 1,500 on top of this.
Done. I'll find you 1,500.
Then you will find me when it is done. Until
Yes.
then, he goes and he doesn't really hide it. He seems to put the bracers back in the secret drawer, and you are able to see it exactly where it is, clear as day.
Steal that shit, Jack.
Nope. I'm
But,
a man of my word. I go over to Rolando.
Yeah, he says, be sure to spread the word of the wares from Sinclair. And he goes back to the front of the carriage and sits down. Rolland, as you're finishing this conversation with these elves and this Cecil Goliath, and you're there with Ocerus, Rolland, do you say anything to Ocerus before Khanek walks up?
He went to the bathroom. I forgot.
Oh, well.
I heard him say it.
Khanek walks up, Ocerus.
Roland, I have something to put on your tab.
I'm sure Roland would be fine with it.
You mean the
We'll wait for him to
Seraph's
get back.
tab?
I'll use the bathroom in the meantime, too.
Just big dog. Yeah, just do what David did and just put it on the tab of a guy who doesn't know that he's paying for. Also, the Seraph is non-existent.
I thought his daughter was officially sworn in or whatever. Or is that not taking place yet?
Are they a Seraph? I don't know. The Seraph.
You
gender-
understand
so,
that there's
yeah.
supposed to be a coronation.
Well, it's fine. You know, she can rack up a few post-inauguration bills for the good of the continent, or pre-inauguration bills.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh yeah, is there a lore reason why Bedlam is an icy hellscape?
It's evil.
Suck. Alright, Rolland, you're back.
we're
Roland,
to
put
the
this on your
bathroom.
tab. 1500 gold.
Roland asks you if it's worth your attunement slot.
Yes.
Wait, what are you gonna drop for it? I mean, I know it's good, but still.
I'll interchange it between the new item I have.
Oh, the mantle.
Correct. Situational. It can be used in both instances.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
We can spell
well, how much?
double cast.
If we just paid fully in gold, would he give us a discount maybe? Because I'd be willing to just front the whole cost if we get to keep the potion.
While you're paying for stuff, Ken, can you pay for my stuff too?
Yeah.
Just as I have nothing to buy, just as a homie.
I mean, you weren't there, but you imagine that if he was willing to pay, he was hoping to pay for, like, to get fully gold out of that transaction, then he would probably offer a slight discount.
Okay. Let me.
Alright, Roland, come over
Let
and
me talk to
just
him
give me
real quick.
2,000.
Yeah.
Alright, come over and bargain for me.
Hello, sir.
Hail, yeah, I see you have brought another to pay on your behalf. This is good. Come, accompany me to the back of the wagon. And he gets up, and then meets you at the back. So you are looking to purchase these illusory bracers.
Yes, I think it could be of great aid to us and my companion here. But he offered you a trade for items, but I heard you're more interested in a straight gold transaction. If I were to offer that, do you have any leeway on the price, perhaps? I could pay fully in gold, probably.
Yes, I was looking for a lump sum transaction rather than a trade. I would say if you were to pay gold only with no potion, it would be a flat amount of 2,500 gold pieces.
That's not a discount at all. It's just the same price.
Oh, you're right. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I would
Most
say,
honest businessman.
You'd be like, oh yes, of course. Then I meant to say 2,250 gold pieces.
Okay. A2 plus
It's a tough bargain.
loan to David plus. Spend.
What other interesting things do you have left?
Go big or go home.
Well,
What other interesting things from across
No
dimensions?
one's gonna knock the old bank of Ocerus. All you have to do is swear your loyalty to sister. I got 1,000 gold with someone's name on it.
I would rather
there
be
is also
consumed by
a
Guar.
polearm of substantial power.
Yeah, I know for the
Yeah,
right
but-
price you're willing to budge.
Know not whether you are suited to such an item.
God, how come none of us are polearm sentinel masters?
That's cringe and dumb
True.
and old news.
Not all of us could be Scipio Cutford build.
Beyond
Not
this,
Not all of us
I
can be that loser from that fucking channel who just wants to min-max everyone's builds.
Will just hates that guy's a Mormon and has a family and kids. He hates him. for it.
I hate that guy because every
Beyond
build he
this-
goes, oh, this build's based, and then he just makes you fucking
Take Forlorn, monster.
cheat all the time.
No. The worst thing is when he's like, make sure to ask your DM for permission to do
Make sure to ask your
mounted
DM.
combat. And I'm like, dude, I'm never doing that.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways,
the only other item of perhaps interest to someone such as yourself, well-traveled one, is this tincture that I have acquired from very afar, and he holds up, or he produces kind of this small flask of. It doesn't look to be a liquid. It looks actually to be kind of growing fungus. And in the middle of the bed of fungus is a small piece of what looks like flesh.
It's pretty fucking rank.
what is that? What does that do?
I believe it is a rare plague that is spread rampant throughout these
Oh.
faraway lands.
I thought it was some kind of dwarf in the flask, humunculus. Interesting.
I don't know what it is, but this guy's got some like gross ass shit.
Can
don't
I-
trust this guy.
Can I like figure out what the fuck this does, Harry?
The flask?
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead and roll nature.
I
It just
love
does nothing.
nature.
Yeah, it's just this. It's just a.
It's grave grub in a flask.
No!
Now that would be epic.
It's grave grub in a flask.
Is it?
Yeah, Harry's introducing items from across dimensions. He's introducing the polearm is probably John's polearm.
Oh my
Probably
god. It's probably Scipio's Forlorn.
The polearm is probably a gnome polearm or whatever the fuck it was called.
Nothing would be more.
What
John
does this
called it
thing do?
whirlwind.
Oh,
Huh?
David doesn't know what grave grub is.
David,
It's
imagine.
just it's a
imagine
disease.
we
I
in
know what
D&D,
John's polearm
David,
did.
Huh?
It's a disease.
You
a
want to know what the
homebrew
polearm
disease.
does?
Oh no, I've seen the polearm before. What's the disease do?
It
Oh.
grubs you.
You get herpes while going to the final
It
combat.
grubs you?
like
Oh.
Cannon did.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
it is a disease that you roll for at the beginning of each day, to see if you can resist its effects, or if you fail to resist its effects 3 days in a row, then you have it permanently, or 3 days total. If you fail fail 3 saves in total, you become grave grubbed, and it essentially starts growing this fungus all over you, and you have disadvantage on a lot of social checks, and your HP maximum, I believe, is reduced.
is there a benefit to inoculating yourself with it?
No.
That
No,
was-
you want to put it.
No,
in
it's
the-
just
No.
AIDS in a
It's
bottle.
just AIDS in a bottle.
It's herpes in a jar.
Yeah, it's AIDS in a bottle.
Oh.
Why would we ever want this?
It's a flavor. It'd be
He never said you wanted it. He just said he had it.
If,
He's a merchant, bro.
Dr. Elizalde would probably buy it, let's be real.
Oh, he would. Because that guy's a freak.
Cross dimensions.
If there was like a mechanical benefit to passing all 3 checks, then I could like kind of understand why we'd want it. But
No,
this
you
is
don't
awful.
want it. That's the whole point.
The whole point of grave grub is it's an infection.
The whole point
It's
of
a
it was
narrative,
Cannon,
David.
Cannon got it in a past campaign. It's just a nod to that.
Yeah, these are all not.
There's a narrative of the implication of infecting someone with grave grub, and then knowing that they're just gonna have grave grub going forward is quite
It's like-
powerful.
It's like the scene
You
from.
should introduce. You should introduce. From?
Oh, it's no, it's the scene from the Harley Quinn show where he shoots with the cancer ray. Oh, it's fucked up.
God,
He's
that's
got
so-
cancer now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm
okay.
so sorry, man. I didn't know. It's the grave grub, Ray. You just infect someone, you just know they're eventually gonna like
That's
die.
it.
You're basically just saying, I give
Cannon,
you
you
eternal
could
illness.
introduce Grave Grub to the Utale gene pool.
No. That would not.
wait,
be
no,
good.
You could ruin Jorma's entire eugenics program by introducing Grave Grub to them.
Wait,
No.
dude, what do
That-
you mean? Jorma is
that's
like
not
the
cool.
run to the litter. He probably was grave grubbed as a child.
I don't know. Wait, who's the last one standing, Cannon?
Damn it!
Yeah, that's right.
Your brother, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Think of-
I survived.
Think about it, Cannon. This is like... This could be your smallpox blankets moment.
God. Okay, well, I'm gonna say I'm not interested in the grave grub flask.
Are you sure, though? It could be cool.
Why not?
Well, unless
Are
he's
you
charging
sure?
1 gold for it.
You haven't asked him what he's charging.
Well, unless that's at an extremely affordable price, I'm not sure what I would do with that. I say to him,
I guess it's like give it to you for free.
go away.
What do you mean you are not sure what you would do with it?
I don't know what I would do with.
The uses for such a bottled plague are limitless, beyond limited only by imagination. You seek
guys
not
are
to
free.
purchase this from me.
This guy is a freak.
What are you selling it for? Oh my gosh.
500 gold pieces.
What the fuck?
500 gold pieces for the
Cannon,
bottled
think
plague.
about it. If you don't buy it,
If
some
I buy the
fucking
braces
warlord's
and the
gonna
grave
buy it.
grubs, will you sell me it all for 2,500 gold pieces? No item trading, just straight, hard gold pieces.
No, kid, this guy's a freak. Don't give him money. Don't give
You
this guy,
say
don't give this guy any money.
hold hard gold pieces for the 2 items. They accept.
This guy is a freak.
You're just giving a freak some money.
Oh my god.
He would give you the illusionist bracers in a package
Okay.
and bottle of grave grub.
You just- Why do you like interacting with little like basically criminals all the time?
Takes one to know one, Ocerus.
Hey, I'm not a criminal. I'm a harbinger.
No, I mean Cannon's the
Harbinger.
criminal. Roland's the
I'm a
criminal.
harbinger.
Harbinger, I hardly know her.
Well,
Well,
it's in chat.
R.I.P. Scipio Cutford.
Alright, I know what I'm doing next level.
Never got his grave. Are you taking, Well, we'll see.
So with that, he says,
Thank you for your business and for bringing your friend.
he nods to you all, and the flaps of the back of the wagon draw shut.
Dude, this is where like, if this was real life, like 2 weeks later, the FBI would come to your house and be like, "You bought this from this person, what?" And then he'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know that guy. I just he gave me a good deal. I had to take it." You know?
It's a shame that in universe Roland is like the director of the FBI.
Yeah, in universe, Rolland has too much power for all of his psychotic decisions.
Whatever, bro. It's fine.
For real.
Alright, Jack, take the
Where's-
pieces.
Where's the checks and balances?
I do. I do take the bracers.
I wouldn't be surprised if Safeguard had an equivalent to Guantanamo Bay.
His name is Rolland Zorn. Ba ba da ba. Ba ba da ba. What a criminal you are. Hey, Bill, I know what you are deep down, Cannon. Everyone else might not know, but I know.
I know what you are. It's crazy.
He's a rogue.
No, I'm not.
I've seen your character sheet. I know what you are deep down inside.
He's a rogue. No.
You're just like the rest of them, Cannon. A min-maxing.
So yeah,
1 hour of content.
He was a sneak attack.
It'd be so fun if you just went all in and you just went all in for it and said, "This is Aewa's something or something," and then everyone's like, "Oh, you can't get getting away with it." I'm just glad you didn't get away with it.
Cannon, did you?
Aewa's blasting the guy to kill him. If Aewa's blasted the one guy and that was the end of the combat, I would have been like, God.
He was blast.
He was blast.
Cannon, did you take rogue just for expertise?
No, I don't have rogue, but I still have it.
No, his soul. He's a rogue in his soul.
It's true.
Oh, I see.
Unfortunately, rogue sucks.
Yeah, exactly. Cannon, just like every D&D player besides me, went down the path of this class is too dog shit to play. So
Besides me.
Yeah. I wanted to play this shit class. Cannon wanted to play the Paladin. He realized it was too unoptimized, so he had to go the other way.
So, you all emerge from behind this wagon, and night is falling, and you can see preparations beginning to be made for this communal banquet that Jorma described. People are kind of setting up dishes and utensils and bringing in the food and setting it up in the circular area around the tree at the middle. Beluminos has since risen from his bathing and stomped out, dripping into the streets of Bygones and then out the gate, making room for this banquet to take place. In this area now, before you all, you would see the one recognizable to Rolland and Khanek, I believe, only. The soothsayer of heritage, giving a kind of a story to the sons and daughters of heritage, while the sun goes down, kind of leaning into the mood of things. You're not really, directly in earshot, but you surmise that she's talking about some person named Amarad the Martyr, who is a giant who was turned to stone in heritage. In theory, the first victim of the everlasting conflict within heritage. He captured a light that flew through the sky and then was turned to stone. And the kids seem to be enjoying this story as the sun falls. You also would see just a number of people mingling and a lot of different groups. Rolland, Enforcer Atlas is you would note down in the southwest portion of the map, and you would all notice Daelin in the northeast portion of the map, speaking with an Aarakocra and a Tiefling.
That doesn't sound like Daelin. This guy's lying to me.
Three of you make a perception check.
Okay. Or 19. Oh, I made 2 by accident. First was I made 3 by accident. What the fuck?
What? I don't understand. I do not understand this.
Holy shit!
I rolled.
Oh my god!
I hate.
That's a
this.
dirty
I
zero.
Rolled a 0.
I hate this simulator so much. I hate every dice rolling. God, I hate it. It's...
Suffer will suffer.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 5, so. 13.
We're not the same.
Khanek, go ahead and give me a roll as well.
You wouldn't understand my
Ocerus.
pain.
You don't know my struggle.
Ocerus, the lowering sun in the sky blinds you momentarily. And you see spots are kind of covering your, the top layer of your vision as you
Is this the
look
bitch
away
that gave
from the
us our
sun.
tattoos?
Yes.
Holy crap.
And she's seems to be telling a story to the children as the sun
I
falls.
hate the children.
Khanek, you would make a note of everything that I described before, the people that remain. You would also see you would recognize the Tabaxi man speaking with the Aarakocra by the tree. You know him to be a reporter for the Cat's Meow. Whether you avoid him or not based on that information is up to you. You now know that.
I avoid him.
And Rolland, you make specific note of a little half-orc girl who is not over
Good question.
listening
I told you.
listening to the story that is being told by the soothsayer over in the middle. She's the one standing over here.
Whoa.
I'm pinging on the map. She looks to be looking at you.
Whoa.
And it's kind of like an it's not creepy, but she's not breaking her eye contact even as you look to her. And as you look to her, she even smiles, like an underbitten half-orc little girl jaw smile. And she points into the alley next to her. And she runs away.
The clown.
Do I? Oh wait, I don't know. I have bad perception.
Hold on.
I was gonna say, bro, don't do it. But I don't see anything. I'm
I'd
blind
like
because the sun.
to note this feature. Is she a
Yeah.
shapeshifter?
She's not.
Holy shit. Okay. Alright. Alley time.
Aewa's
do it.
sight.
Don't do it.
Oh fuck, I have to change that to Aewa's site.
Aewa's invocation. Aewa's sight.
Say
about to-
Eldritch Invocation.
Ocerus is getting the twit logger ready. I did not know.
This is the longest narrative I've ever seen. Like, this is the most long con roundabout way of. Anyway.
I don't know Rolland. I don't know who this guy is. Never was friends with him. They're gonna do a press conference like with
hesitate
Diddy.
at the edge of the alleyway before I go in. Do I see? Is she like just waiting right there? Do I have to go all the way in?
You. No, you stand at the edge and you peek around the corner and you see the little girl. Her back is to you. Kind of dark in this alleyway, but she looks to be talking to someone, and
Oh no.
it's kind of hushed tones, but you see a rising silhouette come from behind her as she actually moves deeper into the alleyway, and this person passes. This form passes by her and grows larger as he reaches the exit of the alleyway where you find yourself. And the figure who emerges face to face with your person as he exits is none other than a half-orc, familiar in face.
No.
It's Theramek.
It's I, Theramek. Back again.
Yep, that's what he says.
Zog, zog.
I've returned. I've returned.
Theramek attack.
He would say,
This guy died. We saw him die in the battle.
No, he disagreed with Raylick and then he left.
No, and then he fought on and died.
you remember
Are
that
you
he
sure
died.
this isn't? Yeah, are you sure this isn't Cyber Theramek? He's been
Yeah.
replaced by a robot.
As you look upon his
Cannon, use Aewa's sight.
person,
There you go. Holy invocation,
Rolland.
Aewa's sight.
definitely battle scarred by the war and by notably the battle that you remember him at. He is riddled with bullet scars from the centuries of Sanctum. And
How the hell are you alive?
I was alerted to your arrival not too long before. It is good to see you, Rolland. As to how I am alive, I believe that is a question that cuts both ways. Word from Safeguard, carried far in the lands beyond their cities, that the Seraph had fallen, and that our refuge was no longer upheld. And yet here you stand. You are said to have fallen alongside him. It would seem as though there are crueler fates than death. We have been brought back for a reason. Do you know what that reason is, Rolland?
Oh God. Theramek, you're scared.
Tell me, Theramek. Man, you ugly!
oh, sorry, broke character. Okay.
to avenge the death of King Braylick.
So you knew of King Braylick. I don't say King Braylick. You said so. You knew.
Oh, you knew of King Braylick.
Wait, hold on. He was there. He was the one who told Braylick, like, Braylick, you have to sacrifice yourself for the people. What? You're leaving? And Braylick's like, oh, shit.
Oh, he doesn't know Braylick died twice, though. He just thinks he died before King Al, but Aluzan revived him, and he didn't even know.
My body was found on the battlefield. Once the fighting had ceased, the Azamar of Safeguard pulled me from the mound, revived as many of us as they could find. They took our death from us, our sacrifice. But I have come to understand their way of thinking. They thought themselves doing us a kindness.
Yes.
I and many other sons of heritage have decided that we will not undo their kindness, but we will seek vengeance against the Warforged of Sanctum for what they have taken from us, time and time again. What do you intend to do with your new life, Captain Zorn?
What I always intended. To end the everlasting conflict.
He has a very stifled snort, kind of scoff in response to that. He would say,
an end to the conflict everlasting. It is by its nature impossible, Rolland. It cannot be everlasting and have an end.
It's just a title, Theramek. Everything has an end.
Perhaps.
Aewa gave me a second chance when I asked her for one. Telling her that this is what I was pursuing. I can only think that she still believes in me and my course of action. And the tides are changing, Theramek. Like we haven't seen in decades. I hope you'll be there to either see or be a part of what comes next. I have faith.
Times indeed are changing. Therefore, the priests of Safeguard have not come to the aid of the Sons of Heritage or its people. Not in my lifetime.
Get in line.
Man, I didn't. I tried, motherfucker. I tried.
The others here, Rolland, they are idle. They seek reprieve from the war that has wronged them. I have been here in my recovery, waiting by biding my time for my return to the battlefield. If you are to take the fight to these Warforged of Sanctum, then I will follow you side by side.
There, Mech. This time, Safeguard will not deprive you or any of your brethren of death on the battlefield if that is what they seek. I can make it so. Maybe if you were revived, it's because a greater battle was to be had in your lifetime.
Perhaps a greater death to follow. Because I will tell you this, Rolland. If me and my sons of heritage do not die in our attempts to avenge King Braylick, the conflict will most certainly not end.
Oh, Theramak, you're aware your King Braylick is fucked forever, right? He's not going to whatever afterlife you think is going on. You think your King Braylick fell within that combat, but the reality is King Braylick, he was turned into less than what he was before. He was revived into a half machine. He was there fighting Catal with us, fighting the Dragonborn Lord, and now he'll never be able to say he died in combat. He'll never be able to go to his afterlife with the 72 orc virgins because he didn't die like he was supposed to.
72.
He didn't die in holy combat, Theramak. Your king, he won't see him in
No,
Valhalla.
He died in combat. It's just to a warforged.
No, he got disintegrated by a machine, and he himself became half machine. Therefore, by your own logic, he won't be able to be seen in your afterlife of heroes.
I'm not sure that. I think that
Way
falls
to-
more
We're
under.
to shit on this guy's like whole religion and like
What's their
belief in.
god again? Baeoth or some shit?
Baeon.
Baeon?
Yeah.
I think
Baeon.
it's more under Baeon's purview, Khanek, but not for us to speculate.
Just an
You understand what I'm saying?
asshole move.
Your king was revived.
We can't know these
He didn't even
things.
fall in the same combat at all as all his brothers. But at the very least, he was felt disappointed in that fact. So rest assured, he was no coward.
The afterlife of 72 virgins is highly sought after.
Oh, he's just fine.
I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it, boys! Lore moment!
There's no
Narrative.
way.
I did it. Get fucked. I lored. I created lore.
He did it.
Crazy.
It is a shame that the King Braylick will not experience this for himself.
I understand.
It is a heavy weight to learn. It is a heavy weight to learn of his fate.
I did it.
I did it.
I did it. I'm so happy I said
You
that.
did it.
They now know the truth about Theramat, or about Braylick.
If the afterlife cannot provide him adequate reward for his service, then perhaps only in the current life, the one that we live now, he be properly honored by those who knew him.
Gotta get a sip of water.
Jack, don't you have Braylix Archon Blade on your back?
Yep.
Well, it's not. It wasn't. Braylick took it from a Safeguardian, but yeah.
Yeah, it was the really cool
Yeah,
one.
alright.
But he was allowed to wield it.
That's fair.
He's like, it was like Thor's hammer. It didn't disintegrate when it touched him. He was truly worthy.
That's true.
He was the chosen poet.
I hope you guys are having a wonderful time with Yotale.
Harry split his brain in half, and he's also running a side session for David in DMs right now.
Actually, I haven't done anything in DMs yet. I mean, I made a meme while you guys were yapping, so that was fun.
Yeah, the fucking meanwhile in Bedlam.
Oh, you think you're a helldiver? You're not a helldiver yet, David.
Not yet, David.
You're not a
Oh
helldiver.
no! Wait.
Welcome
yes,
to
thank
being
you
a
for
helldiver.
bitch on Roll
Hero.
A dame. Khanek pointing a finger at someone that's actually pretty perfect. Ocerus is just eating chicken with their back carrying a barrel of beer behind him. This is actually, you chose the perfect people to put each person on, David.
Oh yeah.
What King Braylick stood for. It is still alive.
Yes.
Your cause was his cause, Rolland.
Yes.
How you treat Brelic kid is how I treat you when no one's talking. Like when you're not there. The same.
You intend to take the march to Sanctum. Then I and the Sons of Heritage will follow.
And he offers out a hand in what you know to be the safeguard
The
arm clasp
the arm clasp.
that he gave to you before on the eve of the battle in Forlorn. Before he death charged with King Braylick into the machine gun fire of the Warforged.
Ooh. Actual suicide moment.
I'll leave the alleyway. Jesus Christ.
Aramak would nod to you and disappear back into the alleyway.
Crazy. Why is he alleyway dwelling? What the fuck?
I like how he's like, I can't show myself here. Is he like not welcome? Like, why is he hiding?
It's
Just to be
You
ominous.
just imagine he's retreating back to some deeper dwelling within the fort. The fort is like implied to be a little bit beyond, just this courtyard and these
He's
or
just
5
being a little
buildings.
vague.
Alright, Harry, is it banquet time? Is there a stone we left unturned?
I mean, there's a couple of stones, but we don't have to look at them. The banquet has pretty much fully established. The soothsayer has finished her soothsaying to the children.
Yeah.
And has since disappeared. And the people who were kind of hanging around the center are now filled. Well, the center is now filled with basically just a buffet of various foods and roots and berries and things that appear to either be well, it's a banquet. It's a modest banquet. It's nothing extravagant. The meats that are there are dried, and the roots and berries that are there appear to be homegrown within Fort Bygone.
Rolland would like to do
But
something to the feast.
okay,
Rolland
he'd like
would
to do
try
something to
and
it.
Enhance it by casting the spell. Man, hold on. Casting the spell. Hero's Feast.
Okay.
So like I'll help with the prep and stuff. I normally it'd be like if I was generating shit from nothing, it would take like it would only feed like 12 people, but I just want to like enhance the feast, you know, so everyone gets a little bit of something maybe.
Cool. Yeah, you successfully do so. Yeah, you bring forth a great feast, including magnificent food and drink. The feast takes 1 hour to consume and disappears at the end of that time, and the beneficial effects don't set in until the hour is over. Up to 12 creatures can partake of the feast. They are cured of all diseases and poison, become immune to poison and being frightened. Make all wisdom saving throws with advantage, and their hit point maximums are increased by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points. Yeah, I was going to say roll
10
that.
and 1.
These benefits last
Roller.
24 hours.
Alright.
So, you successfully do this, and we would say, I'd say that everybody in this courtyard would take note of you doing this. And there's kind of like a moment of silence as people realize that you've just like added on this like really, really nice addition to this feast that basically none of them have ever seen before, this level of elegance and extravagance. And the tiefling in the corner of the courtyard would pipe up and say, "Ah, I got my eye on the meat sticks.
Oh, okay.
Out of the way. He'd run up and he would grab a piece of your feast and begin chowing down. And then it seems like the rest of the public kind of converges toward this center and begins all taking their fill of the various things offered during this feast.
He certainly had his dibs on the meat sticks. Yeah,
And so they all begin to gather around this central area. Where do you go to try and speak to all of them? There looks to be a couple of vantage points, but namely above the gate appears to be perhaps the best spot.
I think Rolland will not put himself above everyone, though. I think he'll just go in front of
They're
the
not
gate.
gonna pull a wasted fucking joke, no sports fans.
I love sports, what do you mean? I'll go try and be like, maybe I'll find like a crate to step on, but not like, I'm not getting above on a wall above everyone, you know?
Yeah, like a soapbox.
Yeah.
and we could have you do your speech now, or we could end the session as you are preparing to address the people. What do you think?
I'd be okay ending on it, I guess. You think that works?
Cool. Yeah, I think it's totally fine. I think it's a good stopping point for everyone to. You guys have interacted with all the individuals, and you've thrown them a bountiful feast, and the night, kind of the sun is setting in the background, and Rolland kind of dramatically steps onto a small crate, readying himself to address Jorma and his sanctuary that he has founded. And that's where we end the session.
Yeah.
Some
Damn, some throwbacks.
some recurring faces. Yeah. Some recurring faces this session.
I can't wait to grow up the evil gods. A disease more powerful than Guar.
It might work.
Who the hell is Galahad? I remember his art. I just don't remember him.
He was the guy who gave you the horse quest.
All right, boys. I gotta piece the fuck out. I gotta wake up at 5. See ya.
Alright, see ya, Jack.
Hey, thanks for
See
playing,
you,
Jack.
Jack.
Peace out.
There's no way.
And
There's
is
no way you gave us the horse quest.
We'll end the session there. Thanks for watching, everybody out there. We'll be back same time next week. Intend to continue onward past this past Fort Bygone and to some very biased opinion, of course, crazy content. So stay tuned for that. Be there.
Nuts. Alright.
You guys are